this is Intuitive Living with Jennifer Jean, and I'm Jennifer Jean. So, I'm going to bring to you my channeled message from my spirit guides for the week of November 17. And the word that they chose today is empathy. And I'm going to read to you what I received. First of all, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. So their message was yes, empathy is the ability to feel the feelings of another and to identify with their experience. However, one must not lose oneself in another and not know where they begin and where the other one ends. A wise man once said, "Love thy neighbor as thyself, but the self one must love first." Is it possible to have empathy for oneself? One must differentiate what their basic needs are before they can help another. Without the strong sense of ego identification, a person's boundaries are blurred by the wants and needs of others. That person may be known for being a good soul, but ultimately feel they are being taken advantage of. Even though it is good to love humankind and give generously to others, it is also important to assess one's resources before sharing yours. All of our blessings to you, dear ones. So, the card that I received today from the Voyager deck is the Ecstasy card, and that's the Ace of Cups, and that is a water card. So, it has to do with being receptive, being fluid. And I always associate this card with the season of summer. So I think that there's a lot of similarities between empathy and ecstasy, that it even almost sounds alike. And so I think that of ecstasy as being that feeling of transcendence when you're merging with another person, with the feeling that that you have, or even with a substance. And I would say that food is a substance as well. So it's all those things that are pleasurable in life. So, to take it a step further, it's easy to get lost in all of this. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's important to have healthy boundaries in place. And I think that's what's really important for an empath is to have healthy boundaries. So when you give away your power, it almost feels like you want more. And you want more of that rush, and you can't get enough of it. And so it becomes kind of addictive in a way. And you are always seeking for someone else's approval. But if you can be completely selfless in your giving, it's possible to reach that state of bliss just for the sake of doing something without the need for anyone else to reciprocate. So I would say that empathy gets a bad rap sometimes. It's good to have empathy, but it's often paired with the term narcissism, and we know what that means. That it's like being attracted to someone who isn't generous or who can be cruel or abusive or uncaring. And while this is certainly a thing, I don't think it's a bad thing to have empathy. It's just we have to choose who we give this to. And we don't want to be cut off from having that caring part of us, but we just need to have a better sense of who we are. So I'll give you a personal example from my life. I was in grad school and I was working at a VA hospital for my internship, and I worked with psychiatric patients. And I really was into like feeling all the feels and getting to know everybody and sharing my life story and all that kind of stuff. But one day, one of the other therapists took me aside and said, I think you're revealing too much about yourself and you're giving too much to these people. And it's not a bad thing, but you realize that you need to put better boundaries in place because you're going to start feeling really drained. And I was feeling drained, but I thought that was part of the job was for, to care about people. So it has been an issue for me, and I'm sure it's been an issue for a lot of you out there. And it's something I have to work on all the time. But even before I do any readings, or even before I go out of the house, I will do some clearing or some centering exercises so that I feel like I can go out and give all of myself without feeling depleted. That's so important. I think I do a better job now but I really have to pull back and not give as much. I mean, of course, you give a lot to people in a professional way, but you have to keep it professional and not let people in on your deepest, darkest secrets. So it makes good sense to do this. And I can, I can really give to myself freely and receive that energy back from other people without without giving away myself at the end of the day. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. I would love to hear comments below if you've had experiences like this and how you work with you being an empath. And I would really like it if you would like and subscribe to this channel because it really does help the channel. And I really do want to get these messages out. So I thank you for your time and for listening to this video. And I wish you a very good rest of your day.